Hey guys, haven't been around for a while, but I am finishing up the 3 bar GT40s and doing the absolute final flows, blah blah blah. And I figured I'd hit it with a shot of Dicam to see what we got. And it's kind of interesting on the chamber itself because we got a couple drops over here, and you can see where it was coming through nice over here, and it came all the way around to this side, which is great. Take a look at what we got on the cylinder itself. Let me add a little light to that because I can hardly see that. Okay. That is downright beautiful. You can see the angle of it, right? We had a nice swirl coming into the chamber. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with it. Let me know if you disagree, guys. Okay, this is what we've got. So you can just see you got a touch of blue on the right-hand side of that bowl. Not a lot. Most of it, wants to go perfectly straight. Kind of like a small block Chevy, but you got to remember the ports are bent different on a small block Ford and a small block Chevy. Small block Chevy has got the angle going towards the center of the cylinder, and a small block Ford points it more towards the edge. Now, there are arguments on which is the right way to do it, but more of the modern designs do it the Ford way. LS does it the Ford way, right? But even at that, I'm pretty happy with that pattern. Look how wide that is. All right? I would say the wider the better. Let's take a look through the center. Okay, guys. I think that looks damn good. Now remember, these aren't maxed out. I could have gotten a few extra CFM through these, but for the application that it is, these are going to work really nice. He actually changed up the combination quite a bit. It's going to be a 351 now. He may even have that fuel injection manifold that I did for him. I did a Explorer Loa for him. And I also did a Victor Jr. Copy, but that was 351. Okay. Take a look at these flow sheets. What's interesting too is I took this end cylinder on both cylinder heads and flowed them because I like to do that when I'm all done. I like to compare how I did on one side to the other, and take a look at how close they are. Okay, now a couple things I need to talk about is I goofed this up. I wrote this first number in the 400. It really should have been 500. So just move them down one. And then you can go to any flow or swirl, and they're amazingly close. Okay? From one cylinder head to the other cylinder head. Now, what is that showing me? Well, I spend a lot of time, and I mean a lot, trying to get all the bowl heights or depths similar. When I say similar, I mean within a couple thousandths. Yes, I have serious mental issues. If I told you how many hours were in this cylinder heads, you'd be like, Charlie, you're out of your mind. Yeah, I know. It took me forever to get these done. But if you take a look at the flows, all right, we topped out at 234, 232.5. Yeah, those are right up with the E7s that I did for David Vizard that made 361 horsepower on a 302 with a tiny cam. And David was adamant about if you put it on a 351, you would have made, an extra do you say, 75 horsepower, almost 100 horsepower. And if you put a real cam in it, forget it. Well, these are going to have a real cam on them. With a 351, these are going to work real nice. Now, I could have gone for much higher flows, but they'd be dead in the middle. These are nice and high end. 195.4, 197.2 at 300 is damn good for a 194 Ford head. Okay? So, what's my point? If you go through and you make all of your ports as close to the same as the first design port, you'll get a very balanced engine. Now, you got to remember, right? If you balance the intake manifold and you balance these ports pretty good, how much of a difference are you going to get in the amount of charge in each cylinder? Do you think it's going to be a huge discrepancy, or do you think they're going to be damn close? Well, logic dictates the closer you get them, all right, the more even the expansion rate on each cylinder is going to be. And remember, a V8 is not perfectly balanced, right? It's got it may be perfectly balanced as far as mechanical weights, but because of the firing order, it's, if you look at the exhaust pulses, right, you get two short pulses and then one like long pulse, because one cylinder follows the other. Same thing on the intake manifold, right? We have one cylinder drawing right after the other, right next to each other. Important points. I'm getting off topic again because I'm out of my mind. Sorry, guys. I forget even what point I was bringing up. But now, does every cylinder head guy do this? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I'm sure some guys flow every single cylinder and make them exactly perfect. They got more free time than I do, I'll tell you right now, because this is plenty. It's plenty of work doing one from each cylinder head and making sure they're damn close, and then going through and checking all your heights and widths and pinches and every other thing you have to do, right? Throat ratios, all of them got to be real close in order to get them to flow the same. Now, I remember when I was first got the bench and I was doing some development work, it was real interesting, right? You could get it, if I got it to flow good in the meat of the curve, it stunk up top, and then if I improved up top, it killed it down here. And that's kind of the way it seems to work. I mean, if you really go for the higher lift numbers, it's going to be tough to give your lower to mid lift numbers where they're supposed to be. It seems to me it's very much dictated on your height and layback of your short side radius. Okay, the higher you make I should say keep your short side radius, the better it works right in this lower range. Gives the air a chance to get around that curve better, right? But when the air really starts moving, it can't make it around that short side radius. So it starts to fall off around here. So you whack the short side radius down more and give it more of a layback, it doesn't come around the corner as well, but it goes straight a lot better. Now, if you take a look at how this was running, right? That liquid was hitting this corner and shooting right out towards the chamber. Actually, the cylinder. It was lower than the chamber. The chamber, this has got almost no blue on it. Okay? All right, guys. I think I showed you enough for one day. These are just about ready to get up and out. I should show you the... All right, these were only machined. These are not the ones that had a problem. The 4-bar had the problem with the studs being threaded at an angle. All right, these, my machinist just had to knock down the purchase. The purchase about 230 thousandths, and then thread these. They turned out absolutely beautiful. No problems at all with them. Need to mention to the customer, right? You're going to need 5/16 hardened push rods. Don't even attempt to use stock push rods. The guide plates will eat them right up. These guide plates all did need to be machined in order to fit over the holes. Every single one of them. I had to get in there with my tiniest burr and clearance them, because you can't have any tension on the stud as it's going in, because it will not torque correctly. So they have to be, the holes in the guide plates have to be bigger than your stud. Okay? It's an important point. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Talk to you later.